All right, so I'm here with Holly Hendrix. Holly, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad we were finally able to make this happen. It's been a minute.
Yeah, we've been trying to get together for quite some time now.
Since this is your first time here, first time on the channel, I kind of want to start at the beginning. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Savannah, Georgia, the Southern Belle.
Born and raised?
Born in Indiana, but raised in Savannah basically my whole life.
What was early life like for you coming up? Both parents?
No. Biological father was not in the picture, is not in the picture. Just my mom and my stepdad, who I call my dad.
Any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother and a younger brother, the only girl.
What's your relationship with everybody like? Good?
Yeah, I can say me and my older brother are very, very close. We're best friends. My little brother, uh, he's came around. His profession is pretty similar to mine, so I guess he he looked up to his older sister and got into the adult film industry somehow. Bad influence, bad influence. But me and my mom, we're pretty close. And my stepdad, I would say my parents and I became close after I moved out.
What was life like for you coming up?
Not easy. Definitely not what people would expect once they, meet me. They wouldn't expect that I grew up, in a little trailer, with no money, no fancy things, definitely no wealth whatsoever. It was pretty hard. It was tough. I had a mom. I had a mom who did not work, stayed home. A stepdad who was 17 years old whenever he got with my mother and raised me and my older brother. And so, he was very young, and I don't believe he finished high school. Definitely didn't go to college. So finding a job was very hard, especially in the area we lived in, the low country. You kind of have to have a education, and you have to know people. I mean, my parents met at McDonald's. So, I mean, that should say enough. But yeah, so money was very hard to come by.
What did you do when you got out of high school?
I was very, very good in school. I actually graduated early, 2 years early. I went to school 9th grade, 10th grade, and then went to college. I went to tech school with 2 scholarships, the Hope Scholarship and Excel Scholarship, which pretty much paid for everything. On top of that, I had student loans. So pretty much got paid to go to school. And it's like, I didn't have money like that ever. And I moved out, and with my student loans, I got a car, and I moved in with this girl who was 18 because, me being 15 years old, I can't sign a lease, anything like that. So I kind of used her to get me into an apartment, and me and her pretty much lived together with another college girl. And yeah, I went to school. After Savannah Tech, I went to Armstrong, which isn't really a thing anymore. It's Georgia Southern, and finished pre-pharmacy school.
What was your dream when you were little?
Was to be a pharmacist.
Was it?
Yes. That was the ultimate goal in life forever, since as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Besides wanting to be a princess. Yeah.
And at what age did you end up getting into the porn industry?
My 18th birthday.
18th. How did that all come about?
Long story short, I was in Miami and I was living with this guy who was from Savannah, and I hooked up with him and through Instagram, asked him if he was DTF. He said sure, told him to come over, and he said cool, and 8 hours away. Okay. He came all the way from Miami to Savannah to hook up with me and stayed for about 2 days, and I went back with him to Miami thinking, oh my God, I'm going to Nova in Miami. This is a good chance to use this guy to go to college, and have a place to live. And he has his own place. He has his own car. He has, people, friends. Like, I'm going to go to Miami with this guy sporadically. So I did. Everything was a lie. He didn't have his own house. He was living with his cousin. He didn't have a steady job. It was chaos. Long story short, he moves in this couple who was using drugs. And I had never even seen cocaine. Like, this is like so uncomfortable. They ended up stealing my graduation present from me. And like I said, we didn't have fancy things.
Sure.
So for my grandmother to give me a laptop and that be the only fancy thing I owned and it's gone, I was devastated. And I got in my car and I left. I was working in a hotel and I didn't have a place to go, and I was kind of sneaking into hotel rooms at the hotel I was working at to have somewhere to sleep. Until I just, I couldn't do it anymore because I was eventually told on. And I had met my agent, the man who ended up becoming my agent, but I was told that he was a modeling agent. And oh my God, to be a model in Miami. Fuck yeah. And so when I called him, it was pretty much like, it's nude modeling too. And okay, I can do that. And video too. What do you mean video? It's porn. Hang up the phone. No. I could never. And I kind of became a little obsessed with the porn industry after that. And, and the situation that I was in and how intrigued I became with the porn industry, not knowing anything about it before, I called him back and I told him, look, the reason why I hung up was because I was young, I wasn't 18 yet. And, but I will be in a few days. Let's be real. How much money can I make? I need a place to live. And so, we met, we went to dinner, and I did my first shoot on my birthday. And I was so fucking nervous. I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. not to mention it was a rough scene. It was a brutal rape scene. I had never had sex like that. I had never had someone, tie me up and force fuck me. Just, I didn't know what I was doing. But apparently I did, because I was phenomenal. I was better than girls who have been in for decades. I knew how to look at the camera. I knew how to act. How do you know how to do this so well? Like, oh my God, you're incredible. Let's book you again tomorrow. And that was like, I was kind of quiet and shy. Definitely not attractive. That was not the word anyone would have used for me growing up. Not sexy or pretty, or was the girl wearing Walmart clothes, being made fun of, with big glasses, pimples, curly hair, and wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I was not ever called sexy.
Yeah.
Until the porn industry. And that boost of confidence was, I believe that's what I was feeding on. That's what I became addicted to, was that feeling of, I'm doing something awesome. I'm doing something that people are saying I'm great at. And all my life, anything I've ever done in life, I've excelled. Like high school, graduating in 10th grade, playing guitar, play by ear. I can play anything with strings. Anything I do, I don't just do it. I go big or go home. And that was one thing that I was actually told to do by my mother, that if I was going to continue to do porn, to not be the girl to come back to Savannah as the girl who just made a sex scene. That I will always be known as the girl who made a porno, whether it's one video or 100 videos. That will always be stuck with my name. And to take advantage of this industry and to be the best I can possibly be. And to fucking kill it.
Do you feel like you've done that?
Anytime I would go to work, those words were playing. Go big or go home. Be the best. Anyone that has worked with me will tell you, I will sit down with them, ask about their do's and don'ts, tell them this is going to be an award-winning scene. Let's do the best we can do. Like, I've told directors, cut. Let's do that all over again. Do what? The whole doggy scene all over again. It could have been better. This is what my fans like. I've had directors mad at me for directing the scene, telling them we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to end with this position because I know what my fans like. We're going to take the heels off. No, we're going to keep them on. No, we're going to take them off because they like my feet, So I always, I would criticize myself, critique myself, try to be better and better every time. And, winning my first award really meant everything to me, and that motivated me to be even better than I could be. Didn't even know I had it in me.
How much money can you typically make, per scene, annually, however you want to break it down? How much money is there to be made in the porn industry?
I can say as a new girl, it's not as much as people think.
Really?
Yeah.
You're talking like 2,500?
Lower than that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a girl who isn't well established yet, who isn't going to make the company
the revenue back.
Mm-hmm.
What's the competition like?
What do you mean?
As far as how hard is it for a newcomer to try to make a name for themselves, because there's already so many, there's already so many big names out there. How hard is it to kind of fit in that space when nobody knows you?
Very, very, very. Typically, a new girl, the average lifespan of a porn actress is 6 months or less.
Really?
Yes. So stay in the industry past that 6 month period, it's like you're either doing something really, really good, you're doing something right, or you're not giving up on yourself. You want to keep going.
How many people are typically in the room when you should have seen?
It definitely varies by the company. I've had 2-3 people behind the camera, and I've had 12,
An army.
13, yeah, a whole army of people behind the camera.
Is that nerve-wracking with that many people?
Honestly, I find it more exciting.
Do you?
Yeah, I like the
Thrill?
I like showing off. So when I have a bigger audience, it's like I feel like I'm doing better to impress all the people around me. Like this one company, kink.com, they used to have a location in San Francisco called the Armory, and they had a website called the Upper Floor, where the public would come and watch us do our sex act. So it was a filmed sex act with public people that paid to come in and watch. And scenes like that, with hundreds of people who paid tickets to come in and watch this, like, those are my favorite, Like, I would look at their faces every now and then, and they're just like, or, like, how is she doing this? This tiny little girl, it felt good. It feels good to have an audience.
For sure.
It feels good to show off.
How prevalent is drug use and addiction in the porn industry?
Ooh. That's something that I feel like people need to speak up more about. It's so common. I don't want to degrade the industry in any way, but I do want to make it public that the drug use in the industry has become more than just occasional use, or using at parties, or, it's using before work. It's using, before and after work. It's directors feeding girls drugs and alcohol. It's especially new girls. New girls are being taken advantage of in the industry. Girls who weren't drug users before. It's actually very depressing to watch, knowing that I was once one of those young girls who was hesitant to ever say no to anything, and that's being taken advantage of in any kind of way, as far as like lowering my rate for a company or doing more in the scene than I was booked to do.
Do you think that the newcomers that come in are just so eager to make it that they're just saying yes to everything?
Yes. I feel like a lot of girls are saying no when someone hears a girl say no to something, or to sound strong or to not sound strong, but to sound like, okay, I can stand up for myself. I can say no to something I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah.
That directors are like,
That they can't just walk all over.
oh, like, we're gonna just kind of. But the girls that are easier to take advantage of, the girls who will let the directors touch all over them, have sex with them when they don't even want to. They just think, oh, well, if I have sex with the director, then he's going to book me more. Or I can't say no, I want him to like me. Or, oh, he's asking me if I want to go to the bathroom and do a bump. I've never even done that before, but I'm going to go do it because I don't want to sound lame, I've seen it. I've seen it before. I've been that girl in certain situations where I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna suck that director's dick in the bathroom while, everybody's, in the house. Because what am I gonna do? Say no? And sound lame? Or, not wanted or not slutty enough? All the girls want to out slut each other too, It's whether I want to have sex with the director or not, I feel like it's wrong for the directors to put any girl in that situation. I don't feel like any director should be asking a girl to have sex with them before or after a scene or ever. But it's also it's an uncomfortable type of situation to be in. You say no, and then when you're not booked again, it's like, well, damn, I should have just done it.
You feel like that teeters along the lines of rape?
I feel like when a girl doesn't say yes and the person working for the company is continually trying to push you into having sex and you're not showing like, yeah, like I want to have sex with you. If those words aren't coming out of the girl and she's just like, oh, stop. Okay, fine. Just at that point, shouldn't the guy know that he just pushed her to the point where she's only saying okay so that you can just leave her the fuck alone?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a lot of pressure because even if the girl wants to say no, she's young, she's 18, 19, she's new to the business. She doesn't know how it really works. She doesn't know if other girls are doing this. She doesn't know if this is a normal thing. And I mean, it is being pressured to have sex is, I can't really say it's rape, but it's, I mean, I guess technically it is rape when a girl has not physically gave you consent. Yes, I want to have sex with you after our shoot, or yes, let's have sex, but more like, come on, lures you into the bathroom, and you just kind of take it without saying anything. I wouldn't even know what to call that.
What's the worst experience you've had that you're able to talk about being in the porn industry?
Ooh, the worst? I would say being assaulted.
Sexually?
Yeah, on camera. what sucks about it is I continued on with the scene. Because I was giving signs. I believe I gave very clear signs to the director as well as the performer, definitely to the performer, that I was not comfortable in the situation and that it was just going too far. I knew it was a rough sex. It was a rough sex scene. It was also a performer that I've had a crush on, and it was Valentine's Day, and my agent calls and tells me that I have a Valentine's Day present and I'm working with so-and-so. So I was excited. I was falling in love with him as I'm talking to him before the shoot. He was, you like rough sex. I hear you like it rough, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can take it. Just trying to please him. It's true. Okay, I do enjoy rough sex, but there is a point where you're filming a sex scene. Porn is acting, something people don't realize. Even certain performers don't realize that rough sex, faux rape, whatever, it's not real. It should never get to the point where the girl feels like she's in danger. There are always safe words. The thing about porn is girls get to live out these type of fantasies and feel safe doing it. And so when there's a time where we feel like we're helpless because the director is ignoring you, the performer is forcing you to continue on, or holding your mouth shut so that you can't continue to say, let's cut, can we cut, can you stop, please stop, This performer, the rougher he got with me, the rougher I would get with him, as far as digging my nails into him, or trying to push away from him. There was a point where he took my hair like this and he banged my head into the wall. And when you do that in a rough sex scene, the guy takes his hand like this and he bangs his hand into the wall, not banging the girl's head. It's acting. That happened. And it got kind of scary. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like his eyes. His eyes were like empty and black after he'd hit my head. My ears were ringing, and I was looking around at the director, and everything was just kind of like fuzzy and white, and I was trying to say something and I couldn't talk, and then I'm being grabbed and I'm being hit in the face to say something, and I was still so not there because of the head banging. And the more I was being hit and being told to say something and say something and say something, I finally just, you know, called myself a bitch, you know, did what he asked me to do. And I tried to just be strong, like, okay, this should be almost over. I was on the floor and I was being a bitch, a dog on the floor. And that's when he puts his foot on my head. Once again, that's acting. You don't put your whole fucking body weight on a girl's face, on her jaw, to the point where she has to get treatment afterwards for lockjaw. I feel like it was definitely rape on camera. And I feel like the director is just as responsible. There were many things that could have been prevented. There's not allowed blood on camera. And I remember making him bleed, thinking, oh my God, we're going to cut. And all this director did was just move the camera closer to our faces, to where I'm being choked and I can't say anything, and wipes the fucking blood off.
How hard is it to deal with not just that situation, but all the bad situations that may have happened in the industry? How hard is it to deal with all those mentally and emotionally? What do you do to kind of cope with that pain?
To hear other girls, to hear all the bad things that have happened in the industry, no matter who it is. I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes our whole industry look bad. And shooting porn, I can say, is, I was just saying this earlier, is my favorite thing in the world. I love shooting porn so much. I love the feeling it gives me. I love showing off. I'm a camera whore. I love pushing myself to max capacity. I love sex. I hate that there are people that ruin that for us. You know, I love shooting porn so much. I love working for these companies so much. I love being part of this family so much that I've walked out of many shoots without my fucking paycheck because I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about how much fun I just had. You know, there are some companies I want to shoot for that I'm like, I want to shoot for you guys so bad that I would do anything.
Who's your top company?
Who's my top company? Yeah. I would say Evil Angel. It's my favorite company.
Who's your favorite performer to shoot with? Male?
this, some people are not gonna like what I'm gonna say because I never experienced any wrongdoing. Marcus Dupree and I, when we worked together, we had a great connection. We worked so good together. If I could work with anyone all the time, I would work with him. He was trained by the best. He's very attractive. The Russian accent. I've always had a kind of a crush on Marcus. I was so comfortable with him. He was very much like me when we worked together as far as perfectionists. Like there was a time where he called cut and was like, Holly, get your head in the game. Like, we got to start this over. We gotta make this better. Like, are you okay? Are you okay to do this shoot? And we just all kind of took a break. But like, it may have seemed kind of rude of him, of how he talked to me, but I understood. He wants perfection. He wants an award-winning scene. He wants to do the best that he can possibly do. And if your coworker isn't quite
on board,
if they're not doing their 1,000% and they're giving 100, then it's like you're not going to get the scene you want.
Yeah.
So we took a break. I told him, You're right. I need to just push away anything else that's going on and get back to work. That scene was an award-winning scene. It just proves that, like, when you put two people together, that
the chemistry.
Yes, yeah. The chemistry. But I will say that when I heard that there were numerous allegations against Marcus, rape, assault, etc., I was in disbelief. I wasn't in disbelief. I didn't want to believe.
I don't know much about any of those cases. Were they proven, or are they still pending, or?
I don't know if there were any charges. As far as I know,
Gotcha.
It was just certain girls, one or two girls speaking up, more girls spoke up, other girls spoke up, and then anytime a girl would work with him, it's like, how could you work with a rapist? Or, someone who assaulted your friend, but he does specialize in anal sex, rough sex, and like I said, he is a perfectionist. He can be very serious, very rude, which can either make or break the girl. I feel like he needed to kind of watch how he spoke to the girl when trying to make a scene perfect. But I have never, ever felt in danger. I've never felt hurt. I've never had a bad experience with them.
Internally, do you feel complete, or do you feel like something's missing?
I definitely don't feel complete.
What do you think is missing?
Well, um, I would say so many things. In the industry, per se,
Just in life.
self-worth and love, priorities, love.
You feel alone?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think? Where do you think you started to not feel loved at?
And outside of the porn industry, mostly on the outside. Um, I don't ever truly feel that I am loved for me, for who I am, but more so my lifestyle, my income, my things. But feel like people tend to forget that we are people too.
For sure.
And a girl, a guy, whoever that specializes in sex performances can want a normal life.
If you had to describe yourself when you take the porn industry away, you shut the cameras off and you remove the followers on social media. At your core, who is Holly Hendrix?
Holly Hendrix will always be people will always see Holly as strong, outgoing. Um, what was I called? A burst of light in the room. Uh, contagious as far as my my mood. my I'm just I'm always I'm always showing positivity. I'm always showing um, good vibes. Um, I could be having a terrible thing going on in my personal life that no one would even suspect at work. You know, Holly is always trying to make everyone around her feel great, to be happy, comfortable, smiling.
Does it intimidate you to be vulnerable?
Very much. Very much.
What does the future look like for you?
I used to know. It's kind of blurry. I do see myself within the industry. It's very hard to see myself outside of the industry. I will say I feel like I'm being pushed away from adult. I feel like I am not the same Holly that I once was. When I was at my peak, I was always being talked about. I had a lot of friends. I was in demand. I never didn't feel wanted. And lately I find myself kind of reaching out to people in the industry rather than them reaching out to me. I used to be flooded with, hey, Holly, we want you. Hey, Holly, you know, this, that. And I feel kind of forgotten about.
I think that's one of the things people don't realize about the entertainment industry as a whole, you know, athletes, everything. When that kind of comes to an end, like, what is there? And I think a lot of people, I don't know that they necessarily, I've never been in that position, but I don't know that they necessarily plan for that. But I'm sure it could probably be depressing and you know, the memories and things like that. But you're still young. You're still young. You still got your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, you can say so. But the thing is, 27 years old is not young in porn. In the real life, maybe. But 27 is almost 30. It's very, very attractive to watch a video of Holly Hendrix saying, hi, I'm Holly, and I'm 19 years old.
Like the couch casting?
Rather than, hi, I'm Holly Hendrix, and I'm 27 years old. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have dreams. I do have dreams. I want to direct. I want to have my own studio. I want to open a podcast. I want to be a makeup artist. I mean, there's so much I can do and stay within the industry. And I'm also a writer, so it'd be nice to write.
You can direct your own scenes.
Critique. You know, be one of the porn critics that summarize porn and watch porn all day. It's a lot I can do, and I just haven't figured out what I want to do yet.
It's all going to fall into place. Holly, I definitely appreciate you sharing your time. I look forward to making it happen again.
Yeah, so much more we can talk about.
For sure.
Especially in this industry. And we never run out of words.